Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is May 31st. This is episode 313. Happy Memorial Day to you out there, and thank you to all the servicemen that have protect us and keep us safe from, well, whatever is attacking us at the time, especially those who did serve in the wars and anybody that helped out at the front lines as well as the hospitals for the wounded. Thank you very much. Today we're going to take a look at Wonder Girl. This is from DC. It's number 1. And what I did is I've got the blank cover here. I'm going to give this to my friend Ben Gwynn, who's an artist, and he'll go ahead and do this and then sell it. But let's take a look at it. Here's the regular cover. This is the typical cover. This is kind of like a variant cardstock. Paid $1 extra to get that. So this comes in at $3.99. And we got our main person on here, Tara, who is Wonder Girl. And the cover depicts the scene in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where they have visited the falls. Now, she never actually dresses up like this in this comic. I'm sure she will in the future. But about this part here, falling into the water, about the falls, that's pretty much what depicted here is actually in the story. So there you go. Cover's okay. I mean, the background's really nice. I think Ingleton didn't like her with the mouth open, shouting. He actually, I'd heard that a lot of people really liked this comic. They were very impressed with it. And then I saw Ingleton's review of it last night. It's from Old Man Comics. And he gave it a 5 out of 10. And I have to kind of agree with him on this. Let's take a look who worked on this first of all. Find those credits here. Okay. He said the story was just kind of meh. And boy, I'm having trouble finding these credits right now. Maybe they're right at the end. Nope. Oh, yep. Okay, the name of this is Homecoming, Part 1. Joelle Jones is the writer and artist. Now, as the art goes, the art in it's very good. Very good. The story, however, I thought lacked. Jordi Belair was the colorist. Clayton Cowles is the letterer. And the cover was done by Joelle Jones and Belair. Okay. And I don't see let's see who the editor was real quick. Brittany Holzer, I guess her name is. Okay, next issue will be A Hero's Journey. But let's take a quick look at that. My complaint, Ingleton's complaint, was he just thought the story was ho-hum. And to a point, I agree with him on that. But the main character to me is just not likable. She's beautiful, but she comes off as abrasive, kind of snobby. Just not likable. Now, maybe she's going to transform to somebody more likable in the future, but I kind of think it's not going to happen. This is a not recommend for me, by the way. It is not going to get the Indie Comics Jones Good Excavating seal of approval. But look at the art. The art's very nice. Now, it starts out, we get this, I guess it is something from the past, and they juxtapose this airline jargon, get your seat to an upright position, all that stuff, while all this stuff is going on. And this story here seems more interesting. I don't know why they're not explaining this more. I guess it's the Amazon tribe of women being taken over by some kind of men in helmets. The young Yara tries to stab the lead guy, and it doesn't do anything, but it causes him to kill her mother as the consequences. And I guess she was so traumatized by it, she doesn't really remember. That's what I'm I guess. You kind of have to piece things together here. And in the next mission, the next section here, she's looking up from an in-flight magazine, So was she thinking back, or was she asleep and I don't know. So and then there's this old lady that's with her talking to her a little bit, and she talks about how that she was raised by her aunt because the mom couldn't do it, and she doesn't know all the details, but she puts out there, I think that's a pretty garbage way to raise a kid. So I mean, it's uh just and she looks like she's having a has a good life. I mean, she's going to Rio de Janeiro, and then we get these other scenes, cutaways to these other places. Themyscira, I'm not sure exactly where that is. If that's the, but it's a person of color queen here. And then we go to Mount Olympus with Zeus and Hera, and then we go to Banal Maidal. Mike Doll. I'm not sure what that is, but where there's some training going on, but all three of these episodes end with like, oh, something's coming. That's kind of the whole thing. And then we get this shot here of her just strolling through Rio de Janeiro, and with these strange things here on the have all these other heroes around, and I'm not sure if they're going to be involved with this at some point or what. But I still don't know who this guy is. That's just kind of a weird one to stick in there. Because everybody else I pretty much recognize besides this. I was feeling that was a female killer croc or something like that. But everybody else, like Poison Ivy and Native Garb and um, Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman there, and so I don't know what's going on here. It's just they just stuck that in there, and the art in here is really nice. Then the driver of this bus starts flirting with her, which is kind of weird. I don't know. He seems so much older than she is. She's like a high schooler or something, and he's checking her out the whole time. And she sees an accident ahead, so she jumps out of the bus and rescues some guy from a car that's about to explode. And she seems to sense all these things are going to happen, but she's doing this anyway. And he's really impressed by her action. And I guess they're either college students or high school students, maybe college students, I don't know. But in the meantime, we go back to those three places we have to turn it sideways to see this. They just mentioned that if she doesn't comply, that she must be killed. And so you have that going on. Then this guy, he's with the group, his group, he just wants to, he's a YouTuber, he just wants to put her on YouTube, and she's kind of snotty to him. He says, what do you say, girl? Was this trip worth it to these beautiful falls? Everybody seems to think they're pretty awesome. And she just snaps back at him, basically, I'm not your girl, I'm a woman. That's why we call her Wonder Girl, I guess. So she's checking out the sights, and she hears this music from below, and she starts to get kind of mesmerized by it. Suddenly this thing comes up, grabs her, pulls her under the water, and we get some nice shots here where she seems to be aware of what's going on, yet we don't know. I don't know what happened to that thing that pulled her down either. And suddenly there's this undersea creature that's around her. So I guess it's some kind of lasso, or I don't know, or bolo. But that's the end of the story. So not much to it, not much going on. This looks like a really, really long story, especially if they're going to include all these characters in it at one point. But maybe it's just showing her as an emerging star in the DC universe. I don't know. But it is a not recommend. So it's not getting this seal. Sorry. Thanks for listening to this review. As always, please like, please subscribe, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. Got a lot of reviews to do. Oh my God. This one, I was hoping it would be better because I heard it was good, but all of a sudden when I read it, it just did not click for me. So we'll see you next time. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.